ever since his flawed appearance in the cliche-laden movie Murder by Numbers. Ryan Gosling has been a highly overrated actor that really does not deserve the credit he is getting. Why would his role as Ken in Barbie even be considered as the best actor in a supporting role when Robert Downey Jr. was so much better as Strauss in Oppenheimer? He did not even reach his knee when you think about the level of the performance, but yet he did get the nomination. Probably some of the reasons behind Ryan Gosling's appeal among movie lovers have to do with his early rise as some sort of pretty boy actor in the movie The Notebook, where he plays a guy in a romantic relationship in a story about two young lovers. And it was in particular this movie that kickstarted his career, but at the same time, it was never any standout act. The best role I've seen him in, and which is not one of all those flawed movies, is probably the movie Stay, where he plays this guy that actually is dead but is brought alive because of some sort of fantasy. That is the only real act where I feel he comes close to any standout act, but in many later movies he has always been outshined by other actors. Take Fracture for instance, when he is in this kind of lawyer drama, as a young lawyer that gets intimidated by Anthony Hopkins. Here, he is over the top 100% outshined by the late great British actor, and you can just see how he struggles in that role. Maybe they try to create some sort of contrast, but when Anthony Hopkins is the one that does this cold, dark, cruel act, and Ryan seems like a mushroom in comparison, he just does not fit in that role. The same can be said in the movie Only God Forgives, which is a highly strange movie, but here as this black sheep's son, he just does not manage to make an impact in this movie. Although you hate the character, actually the mother played by Kristen Scott Thomas does a much more fiery act here. And the same can be said about retired Punch Ring, this Thai actor that is hardly in the movie, but he is so cold, so brutal, and does a fantastic act on a whole other level than Ryan Gosling does in this movie. That is just this failed pretty boy that really can't make an impact. He may also be acclaimed for his role in La La Land, but that movie has appeal more because it is an Oscar movie, rather than Gosling or Emma Stone's role in it. It is like The Notebook 2.0, because it is really the same story just turned into a musical. Once again, it is just a boring story about love, and then Ryan really does not need to act, he just needs to look pretty and smile. And be this kind of sleazy pretty boy that people seem to love him for, but it really does not throw out good movie lines here either. In Blade Runner 2049, again you see Ryan Gosling as this pretty boy character, where the director Villeneuve thinks it is really fun to zoom in on his face, and it is really not too much about his acting, it is more about facials. And people think it is brilliant to look at Gosling's face for 2 hours without there happening anything in the movie. That is of course also why Blade Runner 2049 is one of the most overrated movies in existence. Even though Robin Wright does not fit a role in this movie, even she has more life to her performance in this movie compared to Ryan Gosling, that mostly gets this role because he has a pretty face. In the most recent roles he did, such as The Great Man and Barbie, you got one movie that is all about action, and it does not really matter who you throw in there, but perhaps since it is fun to zoom in on Ryan Gosling's face, as you can let his face show the emotions, and the other one is a straight up fiction movie where it is really about looks. How can you make the prettiest Ken? And the answer is Ryan Gosling. It is not because he is a good actor, it is just mostly because he has a pretty face. As the case was with Timothée Chalamet, he is not the greatest actor either, but at least he tries more than Ryan Gosling, that mostly gets roles to stand there and look pretty. That is just a fact, and while people seem to love him for it, I really think he is one of the most overrated actors to ever walk the planet.